Good evening, everyone, and welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated backyard superstar Tim Vicious. And talking about what Raw, before I go into the show itself, want to point out two big important things that wound up happening on Raw. One, Brock Lesnar was not there. Two, John Cena was not there. So yeah, that's right. The main event guys for the quite possibly the second biggest pay-per-view of the year are not at the show to help promote it. But here's the catch. As they go through the show, they show a video to help hype it up, and the video actually did a lot better of a job than Cena did. I mean, it was a video with Lesnar saying on how he's going to kick ass, and a video talking about Cena on how he's going to kick ass. And the best part that I got out of that was Lesnar saying he was going to leave Cena in a pile of blood, urine, and vomit. Which my first thought was blood, urine, and vomit. So he's either going to break his nose or anal rape him, make him puke his guts up, and then make him pee himself. Kind of sounds like my old fraternity days all over again. That's a story meant for another day, though. I'm not going to put that on here. Moving on, now with Raw. Started out, Triple H, Steph, Kane, Seth, and Randy all came out. You know, the Authority came out. And wait, here's the kicker. Randy was wearing pants. Oh yes, that's right. You all know I always gripe and go mad because of the fact that Randy's always coming out in his ring gear doing promos, even if he's not gonna perform that night. Yeah, but this time, of all the times, Randy actually came out wearing pants, which made me think, you know, I'm pretty sure some of the backstage crew had to do a double take and was just like, wait, is that Randy? I can't tell. What, is that him? Wow. He looks different wearing clothes. You know, but Authority was out. Hunter was hyping up SummerSlam coming up, which you could see on the network for $9.99. And you could see Randy Orton versus Kane for $9.99. And then you could see Steph versus Brie for $9.99. And then you could buy some baby oil, an adult-oriented type movie, and spend 3 hours in your bedroom contemplating what you've done with your life for $9.99. Yeah, they kind of pushed the whole $9.99 thing like crazy on Raw. It was to the point to where, you know, at first it was like, okay, yeah, you're plugging it. And then it started turning into Hunter just trolling us because you could see he was getting that little smirk every time he was saying it. And then you kept hearing Lawler, Cole, and JBL saying it non-stop on the commentary, which was getting me to the point to where I just wanted to mute it or walk away. And I never really want to walk away from the show. If you're making me walk away from the show, then you're losing a customer. You don't want to lose your customers. Moving on now, hyping up the matches. They said they're going to have Seth Rollins versus Ambrose at SummerSlam for $9.99. See, now it's contagious. And they're going to do beat the clock challenges to determine who gets to pick the stipulation. Ambrose is going to be going against Del Rio, and Rollins goes up against Van Dam, because, you know, it's not like that. Not like the authoritative heel figure would pull a swerve and have him go up against somebody else that would be less inferior than him to help make it more favorable towards their potential next champion, right? Yeah. Anyways, they're talking about they're hyping all that up. Next thing you know, Roman's music hits, and he's just standing there out in the middle of all the crowd, talking about on how he's going to kick Randy's ass at SummerSlam, do this, and this. And then Hunter winds up saying to him, well, you have a match against someone demonic. And he better be demonic, 'cause it's a last man standing match. And it starts now. So, he did that. So, we got ourselves start the show, first match, last man standing. And it was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it, but again, you know, I'm not a big fan of last man standing matches in general, and you all know that. But big thing that wound up getting me was, one, Kane threw the stairs at Roman, caught him right here in the head, and he wound up putting a picture out of it later on in the show. You know, he had to get like 4 or 6 staples right in the middle of his friggin' forehead, which, ugh, damn. Guys are going hard. They're doing like a strong style anymore. Everyone's getting stitches or staples like crazy. But also, thing that got me mad was they had the stairs laying like this. Roman went to throw Kane, and and the way the camera caught it, it was Kane, yeah, he hit it, but the camera showed Kane put his hands up and hit that, and Kane had his hands out, braced for it like that before he actually hit it. So it was just, it just killed that move right there for me, because the cameras wound up doing that, and it didn't feel right on that. But Roman wound up setting up a table. Next thing you know, Roman pulled out the table. Next thing you know, Kane set it up. Roman went to go put Kane through it. Kane instead chokeslammed Roman. Didn't wind up doing that to take him down. Roman caught him with the Superman punch, then the spear, and then he got the 10 count. Roman Reigns wins. Obviously, Reigns is going to be winning his matches just like Randy's going to win any of his matches coming up into SummerSlam, because they both got to get built strong, right? So, yeah, next match, it was Mark Henry versus Damien Sandow, and the way Sandow came out, I busted out laughing. Now, they were at the University of Texas for this show, and they started playing the Oklahoma Sooner song. And 2 things came to mind right off bat. 1, are they going to have Jim Ross come out? And 2, for the love of God, do not have that asshole that wound up doing that WCW Oklahoma Kid gimmick. Because that was the only time in my life, actually one of 2 times in my life, that I actually sided with Jim Cornette and was like, no, you know what, this ain't right. You know, other than that, yeah, I can't stand, other than that, I respect what Cornette says, I don't like the man, no. But Sandow came out to the Oklahoma Sooner song. I thought they were going to bring out JR or do that god-awful Oklahoma Kid gimmick again, which, kids, if you don't know what the Oklahoma Kid is, look it up. Obviously not right now, because you're watching this after you're done. That way, you know, learn. Anyways, Mark Henry wound up coming back out. It was great seeing Henry. I've always been a Henry fan, even though I give him a lot of crap. And I say this on everyone. If I'm giving the guy crap, chances are I may like them. Not to say I always do, but I give everyone. I always rip and joke on everyone that's out there on the show. You know, it just happens. But Henry wound up winning, relatively quick match. You know, not that much of a surprise. Hoping that all these gimmicks wind up paying off for Sandow soon, though. Next matchup, it was the Beat the Clock match between Del Rio and Dean, I'm a Master Your Titties, Ambrose. Yes, that's right, Dean Ambrose. Like I don't know if I've ever said it on here or not, but as everyone on Twitter knows, Dean Ambrose is the Titty Master. He just looks at you and is like, oh, you have titties? Let me master them. And he does like that. But anyways, as far as with the match itself, it was pretty solid. I liked it. You know, it was, again, what you would expect for Raw. You know, it felt like it got a little drawn out to me at times, to where I was just looking, I was like, they could have just ended this like 2 minutes ago. Seriously. You know? But, yeah, I mean, it wound up even going through a commercial, which I have been going on about this for a while now. Stop having commercials in the middle of the freaking matches. Because it winds up killing the hype that you're building up and the momentum from it. Because you could be in the middle of a knockout, drag-out match where you got these two guys going at it hard, to where it's like a WrestleMania main event quality kind of match. And then next thing you know, oh, we'll be back right after this commercial break. Oh. And you just killed that entire mood. And once they come back from break, it is almost next to impossible to build up that kind of hype behind the match again, because you wound up having to hit the brakes just like that. Yep, but anyways, Ambrose wound up getting the win. He wound up doing the headlock driver, and the time on it was 15 minutes 42 seconds, which I'm pretty sure if you can play around with numbers in some kind of way, WWE will figure out on how to say that's 9.99. Yeah. Next matchup, Cesaro versus Ziggler, and Miz was on commentary, you know, doing his I'm a Hollywood actor heel gimmick now, because, you know, I do straight to DVD videos. Okay, dude, seriously? Don't get me wrong, I like the actor gimmick a hell of a lot more than I like, you know, I'm the Miz and I'm awesome gimmick. But seriously, this is, I mean, if you're going to have them do that, have somebody get on the mic and start talking about on how Miz isn't really a Hollywood actor, he's a straight-to-DVD actor. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure Bruce Campbell has had more starring roles in movies that have gone to theater than him. And not as a knock on Bruce Campbell, because absolutely love the guy. Hell of an actor. Big fan of the Evil Dead series and Man with the Screaming Brain. Look, go ahead and watch that when you're done this also, kids. But, yeah, it's moving on. Talking about the match itself, Cesaro, Ziggler, it was good. You know, you got two really good talents. Cesaro, I'm really hoping to see something big come from him soon. Especially now with his I'm no longer a Paul Heyman guy push. You know? I would like to see him, like, get something like, okay, have him start working for the Authority. You know? Have him start doing these matches where, let me prove to you that I am an asset for you guys. You know? And just give him random BS matches, like, have him go up against Goldust or Ryback or something, you know? I'm not saying those actual guys, but just something along those lines, just to build him up. You know, and big thing that kind of got me also with this match was, where's the story behind it? What story is there between having Dolph Ziggler going up against Antonio Cesaro? You know, there wasn't any. Ziggler got the win, you know, and then next thing you know, he was in the ring messing with Miz, calling him like, yeah, come on, come on, come on. And, yeah. Next matchup, it was Ryback versus the Dust Brothers, and they're still looking for the Cosmic Key. And, well, guys, I hate to kind of break this news to you, but I got it. Dustin, Cody, you guys want that Cosmic Key? You're gonna have to come to me. You're gonna have to talk to me on it. But we'll save that. We'll save those negotiations for another day. Yep. Anyways, it was good seeing Cody out there with the Stardust gimmick. Completely changed and reinvented himself. his style, his moveset, everything. Jeff Hardy, you should have talked to Cody Rhodes on how to reinvent yourself when you were doing that Willow character. Because, you know, like the Masked Mark has said on his show once or twice, the only difference between Willow and Hardy was Jeff Hardy would do Hardy, Hardy, and Willow would do trying to sound like the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt. Oh, and Willow also had a nest of squirrels buried in his hair and mask. But yeah. Anyways, as you would expect, Goldust and Stardust wound up winning the match, and I absolutely love it. If you can't like Stardust, you know, there is something seriously wrong with you, because that is just so freaking cool to see. Especially, you see Cody out there at first, and then you see Cody out there one week, next week, coming out there all weird ass shit, and it just throws you off, and you're like, what the, what? And I fucking loved it. Next matchup, Chris Jericho versus Luke Harper. Very nice matchup. You know, Jericho, if you can't work a solid match with Jericho, you can't work a match, period. And Harper proved that point, because he worked with Jericho, and he worked with him well. Especially considering Harper's a big guy. You know, and Jericho, he's not exactly the biggest out there. But wound up doing that, and I love the match. You know, it was very good, very fluid. You know, they seem to have worked well, really well together. Jericho wound up going to get the walls in. Just as he turned the walls in and he was starting to reach in on it, lights went out and the Wyatt music started going. Next thing you know, Bray was out there. Bray was up on the apron, and sorry. Bray was out on the apron. Next thing you know, Rowan came in the ring. Wham! Jericho hit him with a code breaker. Next thing you know, Harper wound up going after him. And then wham! Jericho hit him with a code breaker also. Bray got in there, attacked him. Jericho technically got the win with the DQ doing that, so now Rowan and Harper are banned from ringside during Jericho's match, which really doesn't make much sense considering that their match at Payback, you know, they didn't wind up having, they are not Payback, the Battleground, yeah, their match, you know, they didn't interfere. So, but yeah, next up, it was Diego with Fandango, and Diego had the Midget Bull and Summer Rae and Layla with him, which, you know, he can keep Summer Rae all he wants. I'll take Layla, okay? That's just me, though. Moving on. Fandango came out, next puts his arm out for a new dancer, and out comes the one, the only, the ever so short Hornswoggle. So now he's dancing with a midget. I'm guessing they're doing that to help promote the concept of love holds no bounds, even if you're into midget homosexuality. You know? But either way, far from an impressive match. Really, it was more of a chew the clock thing. More to just chew the clock to kill time. You know, next thing you know, Diego obviously got the win. He did the backstabber. Oddly enough, he did that a lot like Primo or Epico would. You know, if I didn't know any better, I'd swear that he would... Nah, he isn't one of those guys. You know, that'd be as foolish as thinking Sami Zayn was El Generico, right? But yeah, right after that, next thing you know, Summer and Layla, they were over at Hornswoggle, who took a dive off the apron. We're like, oh, you okay, you okay? And then they brought him in the ring and he started dancing with them all. And then you just see him and the Bull staring each other down like, ooh. for like a good 5 seconds, and all I could think is, yes, 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 let's get another midget fight, let's get another midget fight, come on, please, come on, midget fight, we can get the tiny tables again. None. So, my hopes and dreams of another midget fight are once again gone. Next matchup, R-Truth versus Bo Dallas, and Truth has got 2 victories over Bo, so Bo's now 17-2. He's holding that over. Bo's holding that over Truth. It's good seeing Bo getting more of a character on him, you know, and oddly enough though, he's getting really over with the crowd because there were a lot of signs that were saying like, keep calm and Bo leave, I believe, I wish I could believe, and you know, things like that. And yeah, it's showing that he's getting over with the people. It's just, you know, I really hope that they can start adding a little more to, not his character, because I absolutely love the fact I can't stand his character and it annoys me to no utter end. I just wish that they would do something with his ring skills, you know. Instead of having him work so many house shows, you know, have him work Raw and one SmackDown every other week, and for the rest of the week ship him down to the Performance Center to, you know, work in the rings, work the rings there. Bo wound up getting the win during the match, and you know, wound up doing his victory lap with the Hypno Belly, which was like that, and yeah. Can't help but stare into it. It's like a train wreck. You want to look away, but you're like, oh my god. Yeah. Next matchup, it's the main event of the night. Seth Rollins, Mr. Money in the Bank, going up against a former ECW champion, ECW television champion, ECW tag team champion, and WWE champion, Rob Van Dam, Mr. Monday Night, Mr. Pay-Per-View. And just as the match is about to start and the bell rings, Justin Roberts winds up getting on the microphone. Says, as per the orders of the authority, Rob Van Dam will not be Seth's opponent. And instead, we get Heath Slater. Which, I'm not going to lie, when I saw that, I busted out laughing like, oh God. Oh God, they're really going to do this. And, you know, the clock started, the match started, the clock is ticking, and Seth was like, go on, go, this is your only shot, go ahead, get out of here now. And Heath is up against the ropes like, And then he goes and starts going at Seth. And they started going at it, and you know, I liked it. You know, it was showing that Seth was, you know, when Seth had his moments, he was very hard and very aggressive. And when Heath was having his moments, he was very hard and very aggressive. And the best part of the match was, right out of nowhere, Ambrose just walks on out, coat on, hands in his pockets, like, Oh, hi. Hey, don't look at me. You got the clock right there. Pay attention to your match. And every time Seth kept getting distracted by Ambrose, that's when Heath would start getting a comeback and look like he was getting ready to go and annihilate Seth. And then Seth would just go seriously apeshit on him. And then next thing you know, Ambrose just walks over, all nonchalant, like nothing, like no problem in the world, grabs Seth's Money in the Bank case, opens it up, grabs the contract, it's like, oh, it's your contract? It's your contract? Rip. Oops. And then he grabs some dude's soda, pours it in the briefcase, then grabs another dude's popcorn, pours that in the briefcase, then grabs JBL's hat and stuffs that in there. And you can see Ambrose actually fighting to close the case like, click. There we go. And I thought that was funny. I thought that was completely funny. You know, and Slater wound up getting the win, and yes, That is true. So we had two improbabilities happen on Monday Night Raw. Heath Slater was in a main event match on Raw and won, and Randy Orton wore pants. Which case, WWE, I am impressed. You guys have wowed me this week. Now, closing segment for the night. The contract signing between Stephanie and the Bella that didn't get the boob job. I think her name's Gorgonzola cheese, or she's named after one of the cheeses, like Fremunda or Swiss or Gorgonzola or something. I'm just going to call her random cheeses until I remember her name. You know, and they start doing like the mother hen thing, like, I'm gonna beat you, I'm gonna beat you, like that with each other for a minute. And yes, I did just do hand puppets, so don't judge. And next thing you know, she winds up Steph winds up knocking out her sister who did get the boob job, and Hunter slams the table over in the corner, keeping Provolone stuck in there, and Steph picks her up and then wham, does a pedigree. And I was impressed on the way Steph did it, because I don't know, this is just me, I gotta have a weird eye. I notice weird random things. When Hunter does his pedigrees, he'll have one leg up higher than the other like this, and then make you land like that. When Steph did it, she just had both hands, or both legs straight, and then went down like that. And then after that, right after that, Hunter's just looking while he's got Cheddar stuffed in the corner, and he's like, yeah. And then she just wham, slapped him, you know, like the Prodigy song, slap my bitch up. And, you know, right after that, Steph wound up grabbing her, got her, and wham, pedigreed her. It was real nice, and, you know, I'm actually relatively shocked on how well they're building up a women's match for a pay-per-view. I'm not to say I want this to be like a main event, but, you know, I'm digging on how they're doing it, you know? That's just me, though. I liked on how they did it. Anyways, that's all the time this week for this week's show. So, like all normal, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch all the other episodes. Look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Also, make sure you also look for my backup account, Tim_Vicious. I get put in Twitter jail every now and again. Also, I was on the Matt Turmoil podcast last week. I will be putting a link up for that. And as well, I was on the Talking Wrestling. I was on Chad B. Rotten's Talking Wrestling show. It was actually very good, very cool. I'll be putting links up for both of those. Hope y'all really do get a chance to watch those and enjoy them. You know, I can't wait to get back on there and do something like that again with you guys. And as always, make sure y'all also follow all of these cool-ass cats right here on Twitter. Vicky Earls, who by the way, she does have her own YouTube channel. Make sure y'all check that out. I am Danny Sunday, Monkey Morris, Axel Mulligan. Make sure y'all follow Axel Mulligan's Axel Analysis here on YouTube. Like I tell you, it's a lot like this, but it's on NXT, so that automatically makes it better. The Sunday segue: Sinfully Sabrina, Cranky Grandpa, Legion Lady Aaron, Oliver Ben, Just a Stupid Mark. Make sure y'all check out Ollie Ben's and Masked Mark's TNA Turnaround. Me and Danny Sunday were on there this week. Hell of a time. By far my favorite episode to be on with you guys. Truly appreciate it. As well as my client, who, may I add, will be the new Raw General Manager, which is something that not even Paul Heyman can brag about, because none of his clients have ever been a General Manager for a sports entertainment program. Bronx Bitch, number 4 ever. And, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck yous.